money machine. Scalping seconds, slicing fast. Ride the wave, don't let it pass. Green and red, they set the tone. Win or lose, I'm in the zone. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Every tick's a heartbeat loud. High stakes play, I'm feeling proud. Risk and thrill, it's all the same. One more trade to up my game. Pivots turn, I'm locked and sure. Cut the losses, keep it pure. Every trend, I see the clues. I'll ride the highs and dodge the blues. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. Somebody give me a sound check. Let me know if you guys hear me okay, because I'm not so sure. I want to make sure the mic is good. I want to make sure the screen is good. Let me know in the comments, please. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Are we good? Good morning, Chris. All good. Cheryl, good to see you. Hi, everybody. Tammy, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hi, everybody. Hi. So nice to see you guys. Good morning. I am coming back to New York tomorrow. So we should be in much better shape. I am actually in Boca this morning, so I actually do have great internet and my mobile setup, which means we can do some trading. But I'll be back tomorrow, and we're going to trade tomorrow and Friday because we're kind of missed a lot of sessions this week. There's a lot of cool stuff that happened. While I was on the road, I managed to fund yet another account. So now on the Trade-of-8 side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 funded accounts, right? Some of them are in play already. Most of them are just sitting around ready to get funded. On wealth charts, we have one funded at 25, and this one I am working very slowly but very diligently towards the target rate. I'm at 26.78. I'm literally trading $10 trades. This is my morning's tally so far, it's going well. Rob Hoffman from Wealth Charts, who's been very kind in trying to get a lot of our indicator set up on Wealth Charts, yelled at me correctly that I need to stop screwing around in terms of taking counter trend trades. Today, as you can see, for example, if I go to maximize here, right? If you look at the NASDAQ chart over here, all of these trades are pure trend trades. I'm taking long trades, entry, exit, winner, chicken dinner with every single trade on the trend side. And that's definitely, made a huge difference in increasing the accuracy. That having been said, I don't want to give up my counter trend trades because as I said, I'm an inveterate junkie, anyways. So he and I sort of agreed to a Solomonic compromise that what we're going to do is I'm going to create what we call a garbage account, or let's say a counter trend account. And I'm actually going to do this with you guys right now. I'm going to create a new prop account, and I recommend you guys do the same thing. And oh man, the alerts are going to go off forever. So should I just mute the alerts? I wonder if I could just no, I don't think I can't mute the sound. All right, we'll just have to deal with the alerts as they go. The point being is the easiest thing to do with Apex, which is the greatest thing because they're so cheap, is to segregate your trades, right? Now I'm sort of right now trading such small sizes that I really don't need to segregate S&P or NASDAQ or gold into separate account trades. But it is very intelligent to create one account that is like a serious account for trends, another account for just more risky, more fun trades on the counter trend side, so that we can have more trade opportunities. So I'm actually going to, I listened to him. I'm going to keep this account, which is very close to getting funded, on trend only ideas, and we'll create another one right now. I'm not going to do it like I did it with you guys on screen, so that you get to see my my credit card number. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to go. Everybody, just follow me. We're going to go into the Apex trading link, which I'm going to put over here. You guys can use my discount, right? We're going to choose wealth charts. I'm going to do a 25,000 again because I like those. I like the 50s probably the best for funded basis, but for passing, 25s are really, really nice. And there's very little difference in terms of risk reward on either one of those. So we're going to buy this one. I'm going to go in here. Be sure to use BK Save as your password. If you use BK Save, you'll get the full discount, right? I'm going to say, please check this. Next. And oh wow, oh, the sale has gone away. Oh, I think I missed the sale. I guess the sale was to the 21st. It's still cheap. It's still 50% off on the sale. Still definitely worth the funding, especially if you like I have been able to fund them completely. Guy, I totally forgot. I didn't realize that the sale had gone away on the 21st. Okay. Well, it's up to you guys. I still think it's really, really cheap. I'm going to take this off screen right now and just fund myself. Hang on a second. Okay, cool. It's all done. And when we go into when we go into wealth charts, in a few minutes, there'll be a new account, and we'll take only counter trend trades in that account as far as that. And one of the things that you're going to see basically is that by segregating our risk, we're going to be able to hopefully actually fund both accounts, take those both accounts to funding. We have had so much success getting accounts funded that some of the guys are telling me they're already like at 6 or 7 funded accounts in the last month or so. And I'm going to show you actually on the charts why and how trading the dots absolutely makes it super easy to fund the accounts well, even on a relatively low risk basis. So let's use the S&P. If it's a $25,000 account, right? Let's use the S&P as our example trade. And for $25,000 account, I'm perfectly comfortable trading one S&P contract, large one, the big one, not the micro one, but the large one, at $50 a trade. If you do that, you're talking about 30 trades, right? And you're funded. and it's completely, yeah. Rob Hoffman is actually doing somewhere tells me that Rob Hoffman is going to do training today, which is very good. Those of you who are interested in wealth charts, 10 o'clock he's going to do trading on wealth charts. So they're really, really valuable for you guys to come join it. So my point is, here's I'm going to walk you through how you could make $200-300 trading my dot setup, very, very simply in a matter of a couple of hours with S&P 500, with the ES, the most liquid one of all, $50 a trade for $25,000 account. That basically puts you 5 days, and now you have $25,000 funded account, just like I have. So if you're trading pure trend only trades, right? And today is a very, very slow day. So today is really not a perfect example of this, but it's still good enough. 7 o'clock in the morning, you take this trade over here, right? This is, I'm going to show you my favorite instrument, favorite size, favorite account for funding. So trend trades, the way I have it designed, is we want moving averages to be one above the other. So a short-term moving average above the long-term moving average, trend number one. We want momentum, green dots, and we want slope. So green dot above the white dot. This is sort of my sweet spot of trade. I really, really like. You can choose, two green dots, one below the other as positive slope as your target. But what I really, really like, I actually like it when the white dot, which will be, by the way, those of you who are on wealth charts, this particular version, the very, very simplified version, what I call the BFF dots only version, will be available hopefully by next week, because I've been able to port this whole thing to wealth charts. All we're going to do is just scalp that sequence, trend, momentum, slope, whenever it shows up. And in this dot format, it makes it super easy, because what I've done is I've basically, every time you have a green triangle, that tells you that is the trend trade, right? So I'm long over here. That's a $50 trade, right? $50 trade right here, right? I am long over here. Oh, hold on, sorry. I think it's no. There we go. I'm long over here. That's another $50 trade. And where did I see the third one? Oh, there's only two. I thought there was. I thought I saw three in the thing. Okay, there's only two this morning, right? Looking for more trend trades. Not a lot, but here's a couple. You can be long here. That's another $50 trade right over here. And otherwise, today was a very, very dull day. But yesterday, if you traded this, you had so much opportunity. Like, look at this: $50, $50, $50, $50. This all made trades, right? So from 11 to 1300, it's not even the opening range. You had $200 of trades, and that's all you need. 2 hours, $200, 5 days, 6 days. You're funded. Not a lot of time, not a lot of stress. Just take the signals and get it done. If you want to add spice to your trading and add more opportunities, and just really, really try trading the counter trend trades, then you trade the counter trend trades. The counter trend trades are in an uptrend would be the blue trades. The first sell trade in an uptrend, that's what we take as a counter trend trade. The first buy signal in a downtrend, we take that as a counter trend trade, because we're looking for just that quick pivot to flip ourselves around. So you can trade those to amplify your P&L if you want to. My suggestion, I think Rob is right, is just simply separate those trades into a separate account. So like, here's I just opened up a new eval account over here. This will be the 109 will be our counter trend account, and we'll just take counter trend trades here in small size all day long whenever they pop up, and you'll see segregating it will, first of all, really give you peace of mind, but secondly, you're not going to pollute one account with trades to the other account. The great thing about Apex, in my opinion, the great thing about doing this properly is you have a portfolio of accounts. You trade them to specific process in each account. And if you do that, you avoid two of the most important things: over leveraging and blowing up the accounts. If you separate them in the same account, that completely defeats the purpose, Fabio, because any negative P&L is going to, it's the same account. So you're using to separate them is to separate the P&L, is to separate any errors. You're going to have more errors in account to account. Those errors could compound and destroy the whole account, especially if you decide to go tilt. The separation of account has two functions: to stop you from making bad trades along with good ones, and two, prevent you from doing tilt. Because what happens in every single scenario, you have 7 good trades, you have 1 bad trade, you're like, oh, I got to make up this bad trade because it was a counter trend trade. I'm going to do larger size. Oh, it didn't work again. I'm going to make it again. Boom, the whole account is lost, right? This completely short circuits that behavior. Because even if you tilt the counter trend account, your trend account still remains intact because you're not making stupid trades in the trend account. That's the point of having multiple accounts. That's the point. But however you guys want to trade them, be my guest. There's lots of different ways. So right now, what do I have? I have gold. Let's take a look at gold here on just basis. Gold, by the way, lots of really great trend trades in gold. Winner here for the thing with gold is, or the thing with like trading the large contract. I think the only way you can trade the large contract is on a $50,000 account, because it's just you are, unless you just sort of unless you just decide I'm going to take 4 trades and fund the account, which is something you can absolutely do. So let me show you how you can fund the account in 4 trades in 2 hours. But you need luck on your side, because what you need in this particular case, like here's with gold, you need to have 4 trend trades that absolutely hit. So in this case, you take this one, this hits for 100. You take this one, I think this 38. You survive the stop, and this hits for 100. You hit this one for 100, and I think you actually need one more. You would need one more to hit for 100. Maybe over here. So the problem with doing a large size $100 trade, $400 stop on gold is that when you get stopped out, you need to have 4 consecutive winning trend trades, which is absolutely viable, but you got to have a little bit of luck on your side. You got to have a little, you got to have trend on your side, because you usually sometimes will get 3 in a row, and then you're going to hit a loser, which you have to repair. I will explain how BFF indicator works a little bit later, because it's basically it's a lot easier once we have the wealth charts indicator on the charts. On TradingView, as you can see, what I've done here is it marks the actual trend trade with a red triangle or a green triangle. It tells you this is a trend signal, and any white dots are counter trend signals. So like right now, I have a counter trend gold, which I had missed. I know I could have taken this one for a counter trend signal over here. So right now I have a counter trend signal on the S&P, right? So S&P is, oh shit, I'm a little bit late on it, sorry. The S&P has a sell signal over here on a counter trend side. Again, I'm late, so I'm not taking the trade. I just missed the opportunity here. Let me see what NASDAQ is doing. Yeah, I'm late on all my trades because I was trying to explain stuff for you. But speaking of trend ideas, so here is NASDAQ on trend, right? 540 target over here, totally made target, totally made a trade. I've sort of made a vow that I'm not going to trade the 925, 935 opening range because there's so much volatility here, and we'll wait very patiently. And generally, what I want to do with you guys is we really want to start trading like 9:45, 10 o'clock. Next week, I'm going to try to shift the opening of our trading more towards like the 9:45 to 11 time hour, maybe 10:45, because that is a time we have literally the best setups for either trend or even counter trend setups, the most opportunities for it. But in principle, the setup could not be simpler. All we want from trend trades is trend, momentum, slope, and all we want from counter trend trades is the first counter trend signal, the first sell signal or the first buy signal, which is indicated by the dots. So a blue dot is the first sell signal in an uptrend. A white dot is a first buy signal in a counter trend downtrend. We take those, and everything is alerted to us. So we have alerts. Now we've had the it's kind of the opening rally move from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock or 9:30. Now we're basically looking for a sell-off here, and now we just have to sit tight because really, even though there's nice little trades here, they're not part of our setup, so we're not taking them. We just have to like that. It's not a crossover of the moving averages. It's got nothing to do with crossover moving averages. The moving averages are only there to we never look at crossovers. We look the crossover of the moving averages. The only thing it's value for us is that this is once the moving averages cross over, that's an uptrend. Once moving averages cross under, that's a downtrend. That's all they do. They just establish a background for us, but they don't have any immediate trade triggers. The trade triggers happen when momentum and slope coincide. So if we have positive slope, higher highs and momentum, greens, that's when we go long. And conversely, when we have lower lows and reds, that's when we go short. Yeah, you won't have the white dot or the blue dot. The BFF dot's only indicator will be ready for the wealth charts customers and is ready for anybody who is a Pass the Prop member. So if you want to be part of that, if you are a Pass the Prop member, let me just give you the link here. If you haven't signed up for that, you can sign up. If you've signed up for it and you're a Pass the Prop member, email me and I'll enable it for you. Okay. It's just a simplified version of BFF. Can that be applied to the 1 hour charts? Yes. For FX, I think it very much can be. We just focus on scalping. So to be the accurate answer, the honest answer is to say I don't know, because we haven't really traded on the 1 hour charts, because we're trading live futures. But in principle, there should be zero reason not to be able to use the same principles, because these are very, very durable principles, whether they operate on a 2-minute chart, 2 hour chart, or a weekly chart. It's just that the signals are slower. But there's so what I have GQ, gold. Okay, counter trend signal and gold. Let's go to our wealth charts. Here's my micro gold. This is a counter trend signal. So this is going to be the 109 account. So look how cool this is, by the way, with wealth charts. We can just choose the account right away, right? Choose the counter trend account. If this thing stays, if I get a green dot, so far I've got 1 minute, 1 second left. The green dot has to stay in place on the close of the candle. That will confirm to me that there's positive momentum in price, and we possibly have a counter trend long trade. But if I don't have the green dot, I have no trade. So I got 41 seconds. I'm waiting to see if I can get a trade. If I do, we'll make it happen. 32 seconds left. We don't move until the candle closes, because it's very, very important that the signal is on the candle close. Otherwise, it's not really legitimate. It's kind of intra-candle noise, right? 18 seconds, 13 seconds. Again, I'm going to wait. Because the dot keeps switching on and off, on and off, on and up. I lost the dot. I have no trade. If the next one comes up with a dot, we'll take the next one. If it doesn't, then we were right to pass it by. So we got another. We have to wait. Why not short on the red dot in gold? Because so of course you can, right? But the idea is to find the absolute highest probability continuity ideas. So when you're trading counter trend, you're looking for continuity. You're looking for prices to continue in the opposite direction. When you're looking for trend, you're looking for prices to continue in the initial direction. In order for us to trade trend, if you look at over here, as I said, you certainly could trade all these red dots, one lower than the other. But remember that especially over here, most of the downtrend has already occurred, right? Most of the downtrend has already occurred. Oh, this is on. Wait. Oh. You know what, guys? Sorry, I made a mistake. We're going to go to the gold. We're going to buy the gold. I'm going to buy the gold. You know why I'm going to buy the gold? So I bought the gold in my counter trend setup. The reason why, my apologies. We were watching the micro gold chart, which is always going to be a tiny bit different than the true chart, which is the gold chart. This is the full gold contract. Now you see on the full gold contract, there was a white dot. On the micro gold, there wasn't. That's why I pulled it back. So because the true gold contract gave me the signal, I actually realized, I should have gone long here. And it looks like, where's my gold here? Almost in target. There I am, and now I made target. You see that? I made target on my gold, and my counter trend signal worked perfectly fine. So I know it's a little bit annoying, but you always have to take your signals and your cues from the large contract. And if you're trading these small evaluation accounts like 25,000, where you're going to be trading micro dots, you kind of have to gauge it from the large account and take a trade on the small account. So I switched to the micro chart when I should have been watching the gold chart. But it's very, very important. You take the trades on small size contracts, so you can you have a very, very smooth growing equity curve, and you can always repair those trades. If they don't work, then you can take the next trade at much larger size and repair the losses. But that's the way you want to trade, so that you can have a very, very smooth path towards funding. And then more importantly, once you're funded, that's the absolute smooth path towards getting paid out. Trading small over a long period of time and just getting paid out consistently on these accounts. But the aspect of it that you need to keep in mind is that you want to take the signals on the big chart, not on the small chart. So what's going on in the S&P here? S&P is 21 seconds to a buy signal. So we're going to go to I don't have my S&P up here. Okay, MESU. We're just going to make it very, very 416. I forgot to set up my S&P. Okay, so we're going to go long S&P here in my 103 buy. Okay, I'm long just a small micro contract on the S&P here. Why? Because this is a trend signal. We're at positive trend, green triangle, positive slope, right? All of this is legitimate signal. Now, whether this works or not, depends on the market. The beauty part of this is if it doesn't work, we can be very, very patient, wait for the next trend signal, and repair the trade, especially because we're such small size. It's not that every single trend idea works. It's that 3 out of 4 of them work. And then more importantly, incredibly rare, only maybe like 1 out of 20, 2 negative trades in a row. So in other words, if I get a trend signal here and it misses, the very next trend signal, whether it takes 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, or 2 hours to show up, is very likely to resolve. So the probability of 2 consecutive trend signals stopping me out is very, very low. But even if that happens, because I'm trading so small, I can actually have enough capital to try to repair it on a third level. And that's the beauty of trading small. So, I'm basically stacking the odds in my favor to continuously grow the account in green every single day. Let me see where I'm at on here. Target is 59.25. I'm trying to get this big. Sorry, I'm on a small screen, so it's kind of hard to target. But my sell limit is 59.25. You see that 59.25 on the green thing, and we're trading 58.25 right now. We're at 56.25, whatever. So we didn't quite make my target, but I'd be at 59.25 right now on my target. You can see it a little bit better on TradingView. Gold, we're trading dollar 10 ticks, 40 ticks. Dollar up, 4 down. Okay. Same with NASDAQ. It's 5 points up, 20 points down. With S&P, it's 1 point up, 4 points down. That's our structure. We're obviously looking for very, very high probability trades. Give our trades plenty of breathing room to survive the stop, and then using size to repair any negative trades that we have in the cycle. So, what is it, 10 o'clock? All right, this is hopefully one way or the other, we are going to, have a, so by the way, I have a negative, this is such a cool thing. I have a counter trend signal in the S&P, which I can, by the way, go over here, and we can go to my counter trend 1 and sell it. So even if one of them doesn't work, here's the cool part. The other one does, right? I can always make money on hopefully one side or the other side. So I shorted the counter trend signal here on the S&P, and if this thing, if my trend trade fails and I need to repair it, my counter trend trade just got done. So my counter trend account picked it up. That's the beauty of separating your accounts, one for trend, one for counter trend. Not only can you manage 2 separate trades when there's opportunities, but you can, segregate your risk. So, okay, so the counter trend worked. The trend trade obviously, died, and now we're just going to be very patient, waiting for the next trend trade in the S&P to show up and see if we can repair it. In the meantime, you know what I'm going to do so that we're fully prepared. This is the beautiful part about wealth charts is, oh, look at this. Hold on a second. I might have a gold set up here. Let me just see. No, no, I don't have a gold set up. So what I was going to say is we're going to create, I'm going to duplicate this. The great thing about wealth charts is you can have multiple charts open with multiple accounts with multiple different instruments. So in this case, we're going to have gold on this tab. We're going to have E-mini S&P on this tab, and we will have E-mini NASDAQ on this tab. And that way we'll be able to not only set up the instrument, but set up the stops and targets all in proper setup. All we got to do is just press buy sell button. We don't have to do anything else. It makes it incredibly easy to trade our our charts. So no signals for me in any of these guys. The S&P gave me a counter trend signal over here. That was nice. The trend died out a little bit. And in NASDAQ also had a counter trend signal here. The trend also died out over here. See, there was a trend signal here. So we sort of had very, very strong trend. And this, by the way, is a very nuanced and interesting point. If you've had 3 or 4 winning trade trends in a row, so you've hit like you've had a trend that's been around for like an hour and a half, it's really wise to just step back. Sometimes the 5th or the 6th trend trade will work, but generally it's like insurance. You know, the older you get, the weaker the signal. And so first 3 usually are always really good opportunities. The 4, 5, and 6 are always going to be weaker signals because the trend is, unless the trend is super, super strong, it's going to kind of die out. What do you mean by structure? Can you specify what you mean, Rich? And I'll be happy to give you the answer. Excuse me. Choppy markets, right? And that's all the more reason why you want to be very selective. You don't need to, we don't need to force trades here. So it's not a matter of basis points, capital. What I'm doing is my starting trade is literally, $10, right? So I'm trying to, it's a $10 win. I try to do like maybe 10, 20 trades a day, $200 win. But remember, I will always have a loser. And by having a $10 trade, I can then go 4x the size, make it a $40 trade, and wash away my loser. So far, I've only had one loser this morning, which was the S&P trade, which wasn't even like that was a single contract. It was like there was a $5 trade, and the only thing I need to do now is just patiently wait. Just wait patiently for the next trend signal in the S&P. And if I get a trend signal, then I'm going to try to resolve it and wash away that loss. Otherwise, I've literally had about 9 or 10 winners. So my P&L is about net 70 after commissions. That doesn't count any counter trend trades. I've actually had a couple of counter trend trades. And by the way, the same rule applies for counter trend trades. If you're trading small, you take a counter trend trade, it doesn't work. You just simply wait patiently until you have the next counter trend signal showing up in that instrument, and you can wash away, repair that that loss. That's the whole idea of how you can run these trades in a very, very smooth fashion, because you are using small size and then overcoming any obstacles by trading larger size with higher probability. Market's very, very quiet this morning. Not much going on here, right? So, while we're watching tape, I am in Florida, right? And it's fascinating, I'll tell you. because I'm a New Yorker, and obviously, we have a lot of political changes. We're basically on the Democratic primary elected a communist as our potential mayor. And the thing that shocks me about Florida, because I've been coming here forever, my son lives here, so that's why I'm visiting. This is the first time I'm realizing at how much Florida is booming. I mean, compared to New York, New York's like a third world country at this point compared to Florida in terms of the economic activity I see. Every restaurant is full. Every parking lot is full. Tremendous amount of economic activity, huge amount of traffic. We went to Miami. Miami is booming. Brickell, I haven't seen more skyscrapers. Brickell now has almost more skyscrapers than Chicago at this point. It's really, really fascinating to see the rise of red cities. And I bring this up because I don't know what's going to happen in New York. But if this guy becomes mayor, maybe he'll be a good mayor. A lot of times politicians, talk bullshit, and then when it comes to actually being an actual mayor, they really sober up and become more moderate. But if he doesn't, if he institutes all sorts of higher taxes and everything else, I think there's a real strong possibility that New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ will leave New York. And if those two industries leave New York, there is no New York. Like, I don't think you understand that like 80% of all taxes in New York are paid by Wall Street. And if Wall Street decides to leave New York for Miami, it'll be an absolute disaster for the city. So I think it's, we're living in interesting times. But this contrast between, red cities and blue cities economically is just shocking to me. I've never seen it like such a strong contrast as I have on this trip. No signals, guys. So just sitting here very patiently. Look at S&P. It's just really trading a 2-point range for the last 20 minutes. And this is the beauty, by the way, of the indicator. The most important thing in trading is to do absolutely nothing when nothing is happening. And so many of the mistakes we all make, and yours truly, is that we want to force ideas when we're bored. This thing just simply keeps you out of dumb ideas. You don't have a signal, you don't have a trade. Rich is at target and stop loss. I just went over that, Rich. I just said it's 1 point, 4 points on the S&P, 5 points, 20 points on NASDAQ, 1 point, 4 points on gold. It's a 1-to-4 ratio because we're scalping for very, very high probability trades, and we reserve the right to repair them on the next cycle. So that's how we keep everything green. That's how you see me getting funded, so consistently. These are all the accounts that I got funded here on. Why is this? This is interesting. Hold on a second. Why? I have the 103. Where's my? Oh, you know what? I need to log out. I was like, okay, let me log out. Discard changes and proceed. Sorry, I was like, why don't I see my other account that I just created? It's because I just duplicated the chart instead of logging in. I guess the other thing is you could probably just refresh it. I forgot you could refresh it. Okay, so now you see all three of my accounts. You see all three of my accounts on NASDAQ. So this is the counter trend accounts. We're going to try and we're going to try and see if we can get the NASDAQ. The S&P just has no signals. Gold has no signals. NASDAQ has no signals. So we're just sitting here, twiddling our thumbs, waiting for the next trade. If you are, I'm actually curious. Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll because The other cool thing is, in terms of segregation, is you can really trade to your strength, right? Let's do a poll here. I am a trend trader, counter trend trader. Here's no correct answer to this. This is really a poll to kind of determine what you're most comfortable with. Everybody knows that I love to counter trend trade, but I've sort of taught myself how to trend trade well. The point being is that if you're strong on one side, you can use this indicator just for that particular structure. Let me sort of show you what I mean. So let's say you're trading NASDAQ and you're only a counter trend trader, which means you're going to take blue dots only, right? You take this trade 485, looking for 480. Maybe you make it over here. I'll give myself a mulligan here. For this trade resolves positively, right? Next trade over here, it's a 488. We're looking for 83. That gets done again. So second trade gets done. But let's imagine this one gets stopped out. Then I simply go 4 times the size. This one repairs. Then I go over here, winner. Then I go over here, winner. In a sort of a choppy, non-trending market, counter trend trading, very, very effective, and certainly very effective in the method that I approach it with, which is small size, give me a chance to repair myself. You can just focus on one side of the market. I want to just take only trend trades. You want to take counter trend trades. One of the problems that I have with you guys in live, as you can see me, is because I want to do as many trades as possible with you, is you tend to lose focus. It's hard to do both trend and counter trend, both sides of the market, because sometimes the signals come after the other, and you got to focus. It's hard to break up your focus. But I do it because I want to show you both sides of the market on trading. But when I trade myself, I literally only choose usually 1 or 2 instruments in one side of the market. Or at very most, what I do is I'll choose one instrument, like I'll choose S&P, and I'll just watch that instrument, and I'll trade trend and counter trade trend in 2 separate accounts. That's it. It's very, very important when you're scalping to really, really focus. BFF stands for be freaking focused. That's what it's all about. And not a surprise so far in the poll. Go ahead, you guys vote in the poll, please. But 3/4 people are basically 70% of people are trend, only 30% of people counter trend. But that's fine. As I said, there's no right or wrong answer. The only right or wrong thing is to break up your focus. The right thing is to focus on one process and trade that process. And ideally, what you want to do is trade that one process against one instrument. That gives you the best chance of total success. Trading when trading the dot process. Very quiet, not much going on here. Trying to see if this is a white dot. We may have, so if this is a white dot, the next dot is going to be a green dot. If we get that sequence, that will be a trend signal for us. Possible trend trade for us, and we could take it. But from here to there, we got a couple of more minutes to go before anything develops. It's sort of very, very quiet today on the home front. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on here in just Twitter land. See if anything is happening here. I'm laughing because the zero hedge Trump. Iran has great oil. It's just funny. You gotta love the guy because it's just funny. It's true, they do have great oil. There's no doubt about it. Lee says she's feels that she's better with NQ. That's another thing. So this is like a very important point. Um, the most important point and the greatest thing about trading dots, I promise you, you trade dots with me for like a month. The value, you probably pass your tests, you're probably on your way to fund it, you probably feel really, really good. But the real value of trading dots with me is you're going to discover exactly what you like. When you discover exactly what you like, it'll become a lot easier to become good at it. It's kind of a journey of self-discovery, because you get a chance to see, oh, this is instrument, I'm really reading it well, I'm trading it well, I'm comfortable with the risk of this instrument or the flow of this instrument, so on and so forth. Like for example, you guys know, I'm not a natural gold trader. There are guys in my room who are just amazing gold traders, right? They're just natural gold traders, and I'm not. Like, I trade gold with you because I force those trades because I know you guys all want to trade gold. But I'm like, I could take it or leave it. I could give a flying fuck about gold. I am a really good S&P trader, and I'm a very decent NASDAQ trader. But I really, like if it was my druthers, I'd trade the S&P all day long, which is what I do. Like, how do I get most of my accounts funded? When I'm off screen with you guys, I'm trading the S&P. That's the contract I really like the most. Let's take a look. What do we got? What do we have? Something possible setting up? Very lame ass trades, but we have. I'm looking at NASDAQ right now. We need a green dot in either NASDAQ or the S&P to give us a buy trigger. We've got a minute 27 left. If this candle gives us a green dot, that actually would give us a buy possible trade. But honestly, you're looking at this, the markets are very listless because I think everybody's trying to figure out what the next step is in the Iran Israel conflict. I mean, is Trump really going to negotiate a peace deal and create all sorts of diplomatic passages for ease of tensions in the Middle East, or is this going to flare up again? So that's why I think everybody's kind of a little bit cautious here. Now looking at gold here, I have a blue dot, and if I get a red dot, that would be a trend sell signal. It's like a double, negative momentum that would give us a trend signal. But right now, so far, nothing is setting up. Right now, what's actually happening in gold, and we can trade this in our counter trend account. Gold is actually giving us counter trend buy. 21 seconds left. If this thing stays white, we're buyers in gold, right? Let's take a look at the no real signals in either NASDAQ or the S&P. So gold is our only, and gold also goes away. The white dot goes away. It's, what you're seeing is just very tentative price action. And when you have tentative price action, we don't have a lot of momentum. Therefore, we don't have a lot of possibility. All right, NASDAQ finally starting to pull up a little bit, maybe giving us a buy signal. What about the S&P? Also S&P. So remember, we want to try to repair the S&P, right? And remember, and we're super small, right? So we are super small on that contract. So all we need is just 4 micro contracts to repair it, assuming I get a signal, assuming this this candle gives me a green dot, which is a big assumption because I got a $1.25 left on the clock and nothing, and this thing is kind of dying out. In this very choppy, very non-directional way, in many ways, the counter trend trades are going to be the better signals. The trend trades kind of disappear. But the beautiful thing about the markets is it's just like Florida weather. Wait for half an hour and it will change. Right now, the market looks like it's just absolute garbage. It's just chop. It's non-directional. It's tentative. But things change in the afternoon. If buyers come in or sellers come in and people start pounding it, we're going to get some very distinct, nice, clean buy triangles or sell triangles. And it's going to give us lots of opportunities. Or sometimes, it just won't happen. So the beauty is when we don't have any trades to do, we don't do any trades. We did a few trades today. Most of them were successful. Only one of them clipped us out. And that trade, will easily be resolved before the end of the day. We just have to be patient to find the signal. Look at that, Dr. D. Dr. D. $10 to passing the 6. I want to ask you guys all a favor. There's a lot of guys in the room here who've benefited from trading dots with me. I really would love if you would just take 30 seconds, pop up your iPhone or your Android and say, hey, I've been trading Boris's dots. I really, really love the product. I have passed X amount of props, or I'm on my way to passing this prop. Just a couple of videos. I'd really, really appreciate it, because it'd be really useful, because I think people just can't believe that we actually are so successful at trading prop accounts with such a simple system. So I'd love to be able to show people that there's lots of people, not just me, who are doing this. So please send me some vids. Just email it to us. Not on Twitter. Make a video and send it to me, and I'll post it. I'll be happy to post it on my Twitter. If you don't, you don't want your name disclosed, don't put your name. It's fine. But I would love it. Thank you. I'd really, really appreciate it. Good job, Lee. Just stay disciplined. Just remember, the key to discipline is small size, and don't take non-signals. I'm used to be very, very guilty of that, but now I got it. What's the only other thing besides ambulances when I'm in New York, or sirens when I'm in New York, that's consistent during all my lives, is that I'm going to sneeze because of my allergies, right? Even in Florida, I still have allergies. Oh, it's interesting. So we are starting to see like a little percolation of, look, white dot. So now the S&P starting to show some life. Now, if we get a green dot, that's going to be a play for us. NASDAQ is a little bit more muted. What's gold doing for us? Gold's got nothing. Gold is for gold. We're just waiting to see if we get a red dot, which will be right here. Here we go. $1.43 on the clock. If this candle completes this sequence, that's a trend sell sequence for us on gold. We're going to be able to trend sell this. But from here to there is full 90 seconds, so we have lots of time to wait. On the S&P, we have the first part of our sequence, but we need the second part, which we need the green dot. Now it's starting to appear. But it needs to hold. I'm going to stay on the S&P chart in case it gives us a signal, and then we'll trade it on our wealth charts here, and get it ready. Dr. D just got funded. All right, let's give Dr. D a little bit of dinner chicken winner. Hang on a second. Winner chicken dinner. Hang on. Where's Dr. D? Dr. D gets all the chickens. Good job, Dr. D. Good job. Congratulations. Was that number 6 for you? Is that the 6th prop that you've passed? That's awesome. That's really, really great. All right. 19 seconds left. No dots for me on S&P. What is it on gold? Still no dots on gold. So no, look at this. Just nothing going on here, guys. Very little continuity. Okay, let's watch this. 3, 4, 5 seconds. No trades. No trade. We stay patient. Maybe the next candle is going to give me a little bit of momentum. Nope. Next candle is giving me nothing. It's giving me counter trend momentum. That's fine. The beautiful thing is that, like, the dot structure really shows you what's going on in the market. If the market is choppy, it displays that very, very well by showing you, hey, there's just not, not much continuity. You can really read the mood of the market with this indicator so well, right? I'm just going to make it a little bigger for you guys. Oh, God, man. All right. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get any additional signals with you guys, because, and I gotta hop a plane back to New York, so I'm not getting any. I'm not getting any buy signals. I do have this is a counter trend signal. So this is a counter trend signal for NASDAQ, right? It's a blue dot in an uptrend. 40 seconds left. We can play around with that if it stay if the signal stays, right? If we go back to where's my right here? If the red dot stays, then it's worth a shot for us. Let me see. That should be in the 109. That's the 109 account. Again, look how cool it is that you can just switch accounts. You know which account is which. 15 seconds left. Everything is preset for me, so all I got to do is just hit the sell button if I get the red. If the red button is. This is a small counter trend trade in NASDAQ if it holds, and it doesn't hold. Look at that. The red dot goes away. And again, such an important aspect of it is always better to be late on your entry than early. Don't anticipate the dot. The dot is either going to stay and you have a trade, or it's going to disappear and you're going to, pay the price. So now we got nothing. We got nothing here. Okay, so watch the markets, as is I'm sure the case as always. When we leave the market at 10:30, between 10:30 and 11 is when you get all the nice big moves. We're probably going to get some nice big trend moves. So those of you who are going to stay on the charts, hopefully will benefit. I got to run because I got to go catch the plane back to New York. But tomorrow, full on trading. We're gonna. I'll catch you up on where everything is at. And I hope you guys really enjoy everything else. I'm so glad so many people are passing the props. I'm going to put the links one last time to everything in here. Hang on a second. Let me put this in here in chat. Let me put the link to, if you want to pass the prop, here's the link. Oh, hold on. This is the link for Pass the Prop and coaching, which, by the way, tomorrow night I will be in New York, so coaching is back in play. And here's the Apex link for the discount. It's 50% now. It's not 80%, but still, that's very, very inexpensive. If you trade it right, this is the key thing we're going to talk about. Is the most important aspect about the prop trading is to stop burning your accounts unnecessarily if you don't need to. If you're trading small size, we can keep these accounts towards target much longer than the average user, and that's how we pass those tests. All right, guys, thank you so much. Everybody have a great day. Any other questions? No, it looks like everybody's good. Just wait patiently. The signals will appear. We're just not going to rush them until they appear on the charts, and then we'll get them all done. Everybody have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys.